Welcome to Coaching Solutions. Recently, we've embarked on a very unique way to work with new customers, and that is share us a coaching challenge. Share us with something that's challenging your company, your team, maybe you as a leader. And what we're doing is then crafting custom coaching solutions specific to companies who have never worked with us to kind of prove our value. Now what we're doing is also providing coaching solutions. We're going to give you real world case studies, certainly without mentioning the people's names or the companies where we have not been given permission. And I want to share with you one that is really, really unique. A couple of years ago, I was asked to meet with someone in financial services, and I was meeting with the president of this organization and one of his employees. And this employee I somewhat knew, and we went out to lunch, and I'll never forget it. We were having this interaction about sharing referrals and sharing resources. And the gentleman that the president wanted me to coach reached over and started to point at me. And he was actually, with great intent, being helpful. And he ended up touching my nose. I'll never forget it. And so I started laughing and I said, "So do you pick it too?" He had no awareness. He had no self-awareness whatsoever that he had actually physically touched my nose. And I started to laugh and he just kept talking. So later I sat down with the president and we talked and he said, I've got to sit down with this guy. I've got to coach him and I've got to really spend more time with him and I've got to turn him into the right direction and get him to be a valued member of the team. And I said, that is the last thing you should do. He said, what? I said, I think what I saw is something that's really interesting. Now, I'm not a psychologist, but I said, when he gets near people, what happens? The president goes, well, he gets excited. He wants to help. He wants to engage. I go, look at what you're doing right now. You're getting excited and animated, just describing him. You're mimicking him because you're kind of a controlled, relaxed person. And he looked at me and he said, yeah, you're right. And I said, you know what's really interesting? I think he is stimulated. I think he has an impulse control issue when he's around other people. Now, here's the funny thing. I know a lot of people in this organization, and here were some of the comments made. He just likes to hear himself talk. He's not a valued member of the team. He's a jerk. He talks over you. Someone in the human resource department actually said to me, I can't stand him. From human resources. You're supposed to like people. So I crafted a coaching strategy, and it was really unique. So what I did is I had him go to Starbucks twice a week for 15 to 20 minutes with a notepad. And what we asked him to do was just observe the people behind the counter. Now, I'm not a coffee drinker, thank goodness. And what we had him do was observe people at Starbucks. Now, I'm a big fan of Starbucks training. I go into Starbucks for hot chocolates. The people are always polite. I love their training. They're engaging. They remember your name. I think they do just a really great job. So what we had him do twice a week was just observe the people behind the counter in terms of how they interacted. And we had him journal it. Just write down your observations of what they do. Now listen to the question. What they do really, really well with each other from a thoughtful perspective. So that was number one. That is a representation of something that we call supplemental coaching. The tactic is observational coaching plus journal-based coaching. So when you observe, little do the people at Starbucks knew they were coaching someone. Number two, you tend to own things more when you write them down, and you often reduce stress associated with that. That's the value of journaling. Then we had him do something else. We got him the book, Emotional Intelligence 2.0 by Travis Bradberry, one of the great leaders of self-awareness. And we just had him read a chapter a month. That's it. No one-on-one coaching. Now, I usually say you should really try to use one-on-one coaching as your lead coaching strategy. But in this case, it didn't make sense. Within about 6 months, the HR manager came to me and said, I've got to tell you, he's a completely different person. No, he wasn't. He was vastly improved. And here's the cool thing about the story. We never asked him to change. See, our role as coaches is to facilitate activities as well to get people to change. So what was really cool, we did not do any tactical, direct one-on-one coaching. Within 6 months, He would not shout across the organization, which he did. He wouldn't raise his voice. He would get up and walk over to people. See, watching those people at Starbucks, writing it down, reading about self-awareness and controlling yourself, he became his best coach. He started to coach himself. See, when he got around people, he got this stimulation. He got this urge to help you. Remember, he touched my nose and didn't even know it. And then I made the joke, do you pick it too? He didn't even get it. He just kept going. He, till this day, will always battle these things like most people will. So our job as coaches is to come up with solutions that facilitate positive change. So below this video is a link. If you want to send us your coaching challenge, let us go to work for you. If you don't do business with us and you want to try us out, cool. Fill out the link below this video and let us know what we can do to assist you. Present a situation or a challenge, and we'd love to help you. Thanks for your time.